Just patiently wait while we continue. We need to get started on time here, so I'm going to turn the microphone over to Principal Cho.
Well, welcome everybody. Isn't this nice? So fabulous. Let's give our kids a big round of applause. This is going to be awesome. Look at them. They're so excited. I'm Mr. Cho, the proud principal, Robert Frost Middle School. I welcome you to our Winter Music Festival. This is our third night, right? We've had 3 nights of wonderful, fabulous music. And this is probably going to be the best. No, I'm not going to say that because Miss Curtis will get mad. Wednesday, I was here Wednesday, and Wednesday was angelic. The choir was amazing, and then yesterday we had our percussion, amazing. Tonight you're in for a treat. This is going to be amazing. We have all of our orchestra, our mariachi, our jazz. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's give Mr. Rodriguez a big round of applause because. So have a wonderful night, everyone, and of course, happy holidays as we go into winter break in a week from now. And so please enjoy, and students, awesome. So proud of you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Tim, can we get the lights on now, please? Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. And then, I don't know, I think it looks like we tripped the breaker again. So let's see if we can get that remedied. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Mr. Rodriguez, and it is with great pleasure that I welcome you here to our third and final night. Again, thank you so much for being here, being patient. It's a lot going on today, and again, I just appreciate your patience. There's a couple of things I do want to explain before we start with the performance. As we have a lot more people than we have seating for, we are going to do early release of the first and second group. And so what that essentially means is the students in this ensemble that are only playing in this ensemble, please raise your hand. You are a single ensemble musician. If one of these students belongs to you, at the end of this performance for Frost Wings, you will early release your child. Miss Lewis is right here. You are going to collect your child, and I would love to have you stay the entire, we have a great night, but just for fire safety, so that, God forbid, in case we needed to evacuate quickly, we don't have anyone get hurt, we have to do an early release. And so Miss Lewis will be standing by the door. I would ask you meet your child at the door. She has a roster, sign your child out, and your child has their belongings in the music rooms. Collect their belongings and they're excused, no penalty to their grade if they're a single ensemble member. We're going to do the same thing, and I'll remind the audience of that for intermediate strings. And I appreciate again your patience. And yeah, I think we're ready to start. Intermediate strings, just a friendly reminder that you are an audience, and show us what kind of audience you would like for them to be when you're performing next. Same thing with my Philharmonic, and the same thing with my jazz band kiddos and mariachi kiddos over there. And I think we're gonna get started even though that light tree isn't on, so just bear with us here. Would you go ahead, kindly stand, remove your hats if you're able to, stand, go ahead, for the playing of the Star Spangled Banner. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If, let's see, I can't see, but if one of the parents who was able to reset the light breaker over there, we really do need that light, otherwise the kids are in the shadows. I don't remember who was helping me, there we go. And I don't know if maybe we can unplug something from the concession room so that we can get the light going. That's the problem when you have a really good music program in a kind of an old school where we don't have an auditorium. We're dealing with old infrastructure. So if you know anyone that has some money and would like to help us out and build us an auditorium, by all means, yes. Mr. Schmerlson was here on Wednesday, and a lot of people were like, hey, you should ask him for an auditorium. And by the time we had the conversation at the end of the concert, he was very impressed with the production of what we do here. And he's like, oh my gosh, the choir was amazing. The production, the video, the lights, everything. And I said to him, thank you so much, I appreciate that. Isn't it a shame we have to do it in an auditorium, in a gym though? He's like, yes, I know, the parents keep telling me, so we'll see what happens if that takes us anywhere. They're resetting something. It's, I believe it's the 4th or the 5th one. I've memorized it by this point. All right, we're gonna go ahead and keep going just for the flow of the sake of time here. Our first piece of music in our program is a piece entitled Plaza de Toros. Thank you. Thank you very much. And so we're going to go ahead and continue. Moving right along, our next piece of music is entitled Acclamations. A little bit about the group while our percussion section is transitioning from one instrument to the next. The majority of the students in advanced band this year, Frost Winds, were actually in beginning band last year. If you were in beginning band last year, raise your hand. So, thank you, hands down. I wanted to just shout them out because this is technically the second performance, their first being last year Frost Bowl when they completed a 1 year of training. That piece of, oh there it is, Let There Be Light. Thank you. The first piece of music we performed was actually intended for them to play it last year at the end of the year, but we just ran out of time. And we have a guest with us today that I wanted to just shout out, and that's Mr. Vicario. Where's Mr. Vicario? Right there. Mr. B. I don't know if you remember Mr. B was our student teacher last year, and he is now, and I'm very proud of him, very excited. And if anyone, and this is the first time this is happening in 17 years at Frost Middle School, I am promoting a Nobel Middle School concert. Go check it out next Wednesday. What time? 6 p.m. Let's make a big group Frosties to support Mr. B at Nobel next week, okay? There we go. Our next piece of music is a piece of music that normally we would perform in the spring semester, but going back to my previous point, the majority of the students being in beginning last year have made such incredible progress compared to where we were in June to where we are now. Would you agree with that? Okay, thank you. Not a pop quiz, you're fine. All right, so our next piece is entitled Acclamations. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, we're very excited. It's been a really good year. We are almost, for those of you who are returning, for us family members, we're almost back to pre-COVID numbers in our music program. And this year our advanced band, we have about 63, 64 kids enrolled in the actual class. We do have some guest musicians with us. And so I did not get an opportunity to put everyone's names in the program. But if you are a guest with us tonight, I don't want to call you out by name so I don't omit anyone. Would you go ahead and stand so our audience can acknowledge you? One of our guest musicians here. We also have some of our coaches with us. We have Miss Russell, and then we have Coach Brad as well joining us today. All right, you guys have a seat. All right, so this semester we have had the wonderful opportunity of continuing our partnership with Cal State Northridge, where I went to as well and earned my credential. And we have been working with Mr. Daniel Badillo. Would you welcome him up to the stage right now, please? He is going to go ahead and conduct the next piece of music. And I'll introduce the piece because I have to say, for anyone who has been a student of mine, and we're talking about band conductors, and if we have alumni in the room, here's your quiz question real quickly. Who's one of my favorite band composers? Robert W. Smith. Everyone was who? Very good. They do pay attention. It's wonderful. Okay. So unfortunately, this year Robert W. Smith is no longer with us. He passed away, and so every gosh, I'm so tempted to say what one of the band persons and we have a jazz band and Thursday night band, and it was during Thursday night band jazz that I found out that he had passed away. And so I shared it with the group and one of the trumpet players, and it had to be a trumpet player, of course. And if you know anything about trumpet players, they have a terrible sense of humor. So I got the text message and I was like, oh man. There was the band director from Hale Middle School was in our Thursday night jazz band, and I said, hey John, Robert W. Smith passed away. He's like, oh no. We were both kind of shocked about it because he was an incredible composer. And so one of the trumpet players shouts from the back, he's like, well, at least now he's your favorite decomposer. And I was just kind of like, oh my gosh, too soon, too soon, too soon. Yeah, no. Where's my phone? No? Okay, you're fired. All right, so there we go, to alleviate the tension. But this is a really great piece of music. It's entitled Right to Temporo, and it's a great pleasure to have. It's a celebration as well this week because Mr. Badillo will actually be leaving us this semester. He's going to be moving on to a high school assignment, and so tonight is kind of like his musical graduation, so he's going to conduct the next piece with the advanced band. So here we go, Right to Temporo. One more round of applause, please, for Mr. Badillo. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and play their last piece of music in their portion of the program, and we're going to go into our first group change. And so at this time is when we're going to have Miss Lewis at the end of the next piece. She'll be doing the early releases outside of the door. She will not be following you to the music rooms, so you'll have to find her. Would you stand up one more time in case the parents weren't here when we first announced it? Miss Lewis, congratulations to Miss Lewis. She just retired last year after 40 years here at Frost. Miss Lewis has always been there from the very beginning. She was here yesterday. We were talking about how it was when we first started the music program. This is now my 17th year. Miss Curtis is now on her 18th year, and just to see the pictures, the progression of where it was. The very first winter concert that we had more musicians on the stage than we did in the people in the audience. And it was such that we had in the entrance corner was where we had advanced band at the time, probably 20, 30 kids. Then next to them we had advanced strings, same deal, small. Then next to them, Miss Phyllis Cardozo. We've come a long way. And if you've been a part of the journey, we're happy that you're here because the kids are just very excited. Our next piece of music is a very unique piece of music, something we started last year. Another composer that I enjoy and I'm starting to put on my top list of composers for band music, Randall Standridge. I follow a Facebook group of middle school music teachers, and they post all sorts of things that happen in their classrooms. I'm like, haha, that's relatable, etc., so forth and so on. Randall Standridge started a series of pieces of music based on Santa Claus, with a little twist. He entitles it Santa the Barbarian. And last year was the very first one we did. We did Santa the Barbarian. The kids loved it so much that, we're going to do the second part. We're going to do part 2. But part 3 came out in October, and I listened to part 3 and I fell in love with part 3. So what we're going to do tonight is part 3 in the trilogy. Next year we'll do part 2. We'll revisit that next year. They convinced me. I heard part 2 afterwards. I was like, okay, that's fine. But this one I was more excited about. So we're going to do this one. We have a special guest. We have a Santa the Barbarian in the form of Naru Sorn over there. He's going to be doing some narration. So it's a very unique piece of music. It has some melodies that you're going to recognize, and it's just barbaric. So I hope you enjoy Santa the Barbarian, and after this, again, I'll come back on the mic and I'll just give out some more instructions as far as the scene change, and we'll go from there. So we hope you enjoy. I don't know if I mentioned, part 3 is called Santa the Barbarian, Snowpocalypse.
Winter eternal was what he had planned, for the blizzards and storms were his
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If there's anyone who has my keys, if we can get the light key to turn on the one of the house lights, it can be the back end, it's fine. While we do our first scene change, I'm just going to talk to the students really quickly again. Single ensemble performers, you are going to exit the stage. You're going to check out with your parent before you go to room 11 for the early release. Before you go to room 11, where you will then collect your personal belongings after storing your instrument. I do not want to walk back to room 11 at the end of the concert. Listen to me. You played very well. This part is just as important. I do not want to go back to room 11 after the concert to find your instrument outside of its case. You're being early released. Your responsibility ends the minute your parent signs you out. Do not be irresponsible with your equipment, okay? So I'm gonna have the entire Frost Winds exit right now. Single ensembles, thank you for the lights. Single ensemble members, find your parents. If you are, hold on, I'm not done. If you are a crossover, if you're performing with a different group, you should already know what your timeline looks like. Intermediate strings, give us about maybe 2-3 minutes for them to clear out before you guys make your way to the stage. Roll out. All right, we are almost ready. We're waiting. Thank you. That was just a warm up, but thank you. We appreciate it. We are just waiting on a few of the musicians from the first group to make the transition into this group. We are very blessed here with a lot of talented students this year. A lot of them are really branching out and learning secondary, maybe even tertiary instruments. I think, and I'll announce it a little later, we are actually setting a new record. I have 2 students tonight that are actually playing in every single one of the 5 groups performing tonight, which I'll acknowledge them at the end, but just pay attention to the faces when I ask for the guest musicians to stand up and see where the commonalities are. But yeah, one of them I think is actually the new record he's setting is a first time someone plays in all 5 groups on 4 different instruments. So I'll shout him out at the end. But very thankful to all of the students. And while we're still waiting on a couple of more students, I do want to go ahead and just say it takes a village. This is not something that I can do on my own. And I mean, I'm just the guy that stands up and waves his arms. They're the ones doing the work. They're the ones making the sounds. So, yeah, and even the decoration, everything takes a village. And again, I said this at the beginning, just for more clarification if you walked in afterwards. The seats that did have the name tags were our way of thanking the parents that did come in. I sent an email, I sent information back in November. It was really interesting. I got a lot of emails this week. Mr. Art, when is setup? Mr. Art, when is the concert? Mr. Art, even just yesterday, what time does the concert start? And I'm thinking to myself, well, I post on social media, I send out a reminder, I post on Schoology. Even before any of that, they know about it. They're my messengers. So it's really interesting to get those kinds of like, we have a concert. Do you guys know we have a concert today? Okay. I've been messing with them. I've been telling them that like maybe a whole month ago. You guys, we have a concert on December 8th. Every day. They're so sick of me saying that. That's their reaction right now. But I just wanted to make sure we really do our best to communicate because I know it takes a village to do all of this. And I wanted to start by thanking all of the parent volunteers that have come alongside us this week to help us with the setup, with the decorations. Please, a round of applause. I can show you a picture of what it looked like on the first year we did it. You'll be like, oh yeah, ooh, I can't know. But you gotta start small, right, to get somewhere. So again, I don't like just mentioning individuals because I'm always afraid of omitting someone, and I'm very appreciative and thankful, and I'm looking for all the eyes of all the parents that have been here all week helping us out, concessions, decorations, programs, anything and everything we do. I can't do it on my own. But I do have to shout out, and again, I don't mean to offend, okay? I do have to shout out Virginia and Shelly, because you have been here almost like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, today, from the time I get here to the time you leave, making sure everything is ready and taken care of. So a special shout out to you for your hard, tireless work that you've put into this as well. And I love it, and I'm very appreciative of it. I also want to take the time to thank our administration here at Frost. We have a very supportive administration. Half of what we do is what we do in the classroom, but we can't do what we do without a strong administration. During COVID, some of my peers, some of my colleagues at other schools, their administrators said, you know what, it's really risky with the instruments. You got to stop instrumental instruction. But here at Frost, Mr. Cho just supported us, and our endeavors, Ms. Curtis and I, just continued to allow us to do what we were doing, and we were able to keep the music going during COVID. So I just want to acknowledge our administration and thank them as well. I don't know if anyone else is here from administration, but if you are, round of applause, please. I also want to thank our Frost faculty. They're very supportive in our endeavors as well, especially on a rehearsal day like today. Today was a really long day. We think the concert's long, the rehearsal day was long. We've been here since 6 in the morning. But today is a day where, again, students have played multiple ensembles. They had to sometimes ask for their academic teachers' permission to miss out on something so that they can come in here for extra rehearsals. And I tried my best this year, faculty, to not be as disruptive. We do have zero period in the morning. We have mariachi after school, and I was even sacrificing lunchtime. So it did get to the point where I had to put you guys for today. And thank you so much for just being there and saying, hey, you know what, that's fine. Take the kiddos. We understand and we support you. So we want to thank the Frost faculty. This is coming from the students and the parents. Please lift up the Frost faculty for your support. And we can do. also want to take the time to thank you, parents, for your continued support, because this is a partnership, all of us working together in concert for all concerts that we have here. And I hope you can appreciate the progress that you're going to see tonight from all of the students. The students on the stage right now are all students who were in beginning strings last year. We do have some guest musicians with us, but the vast majority of the students that were in beginning, can you raise your hand if you were in beginning strings last year? Okay, so hands down. This is year 2 of the experience for them. This is intermediate strings. It just means that the majority of the students in their group, they're just in their second year. We're continuing to develop the skills. And I hope you can hear the progression that they made since the Frost Bowl when they first performed for you. So I don't see the students that I'm waiting on. We're gonna go ahead and just move on. Our first piece of music is entitled Westminster Prelude and Fugue. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, in the many people we have to thank, many different support we have here. I want to thank actually the elementary schools with the music programs, because we are fortunate enough sometimes to have students come to us with that previous experience, and it really does help. You know, some of them choose to play a secondary instrument, some of them continue to refine, progress the skills that they started in elementary. So I don't know if we have any of our elementary school theater teachers here, but I do want to thank them because they plant the seeds that we're able to nurture to continue to grow. And I also want to thank the high school music directors, because it really is a partnership. In an ideal world, the elementary school music programs would feed to the middle school would feed to the high schools. And so we're starting to do that. So I do want to take the time to thank Mr. Ibarra at Kennedy High School, Mr. Cooper over at Granada, Mr. Simon over at Granada. We do have a new string director at Granada as well. I don't unfortunately know her name just yet, so any of the Granada kids, what's her name? Miss Knowles, okay. I wasn't able to go to the Granada concert last week, but I saw their live stream. I haven't gotten the pleasure of meeting Miss Knowles just yet. I got a picture of the concert program, and I was just beaming with joy to see how many former FLOSS students are continuing in their endeavors in high school. I also want to thank Mr. Yasman at Cleveland High School. There's a lot of good music happening in the Valley. If your children are thinking about continuing, we're surrounded by wonderful choices. And it's a wonderful thing for Ms. Curtis and I to know that what we start here, the ripple continues to grow now. And we see it and we enjoy it. So I want to again just thank the elementary schools and the high school programs. A round of applause for them, please, as well. Our next piece of music is in honor of Hanukkah, which I understand the first night of Hanukkah was last night, yes? Okay, so it's entitled Hanukkah on Hanukkah. So we're going to go ahead and close their portion of the program out. And before we do, just again, we're going to do some early releases here. So very similar instruction as I gave Advanced Band. At the conclusion, you will find your parent, and we're going to have Miss Lewis once again meet you at the door. You're gonna early release sign out with Miss Lewis before you go to room 11, room 9, room 10 to collect your personal belongings and store your instrument. And if you are crossing over into lost my train of thought. But shoot, what was I saying? Oh, you're checking out with Miss Lewis, making sure that you put all your things away, and then you're good to go. If you're doing a crossover ensemble, if you're gonna play with Philharmonic, you're gonna remain in the gym. If you're changing into mariachi, you already know the instructions. We've been going over it for a while. One thing though that was just brought to my attention, please refrain from playing your instruments. I know you're excited, but I have to remind you, we have a neighbor across the street from the band room. He's very particular. When he bought the house, it was during COVID, so we didn't have music in my room happening. And so when we came back, he didn't know it was the band room, and so he kind of doesn't appreciate sounds, I guess. So only because it's nighttime and I don't need to deal with it right now, try not to play, because he'll come out and it's kind of scary. Yeah, he's a member of the Tracksuit Mafia. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, moving on. Moving on. All right. You have to see him to understand. One of these days, I'm actually gonna meet him when he's not cursing at me. All right. So, yeah, he has a funny way of showing his appreciation for the arts. Okay, I'm done. Our last piece of music for tonight for these guys is entitled Gargoyles. I hope you've enjoyed their performance. And once again, if we can get the house lights turned on, we're going to go ahead and make the next change for our next group. And just if you want to take this time to use the restrooms, men's restrooms here, ladies' restrooms there. We have some restrooms across the way. Concessions are going on. Give us about maybe 5-10 minutes or so, and we'll be ready with the next group. Thank you so much. Our seats, we have a little more space now. We have a few more seats open, a lot less people standing. I appreciate your patience. And just a point of clarification, you're welcome to stay. I'm not telling anyone to go home early. We had a couple of parents that thought I meant to say, you're good to go, bye, we don't want to see you for the rest of the night. No, everyone's welcome to stay. I just wanted to relieve some of the fire hazards and stuff like that stuff. One point though, I do want to share with the front row, those of you sitting in the plastic chairs here, the ones that we had to add, we're going to need those chairs to be located during the intermission, as in this spot is where the mariachi vocalists are going to be performing, and so we're going to have to ask you to relocate during the intermission. You're good right now? Everything's fine. Alright, so the next group on stage is the Frost Philharmonic, and if you have been with us in the past and you had the Frostville experience, the group when I first made it originated from the unique problem where I had a lot more students than I had space for in advanced streams and advanced band at the time. And so rather than having an intermediate string orchestra or an intermediate band, I put the second year players together. I combined the winds, the strings, and the percussion in the year 2 experience for what was the Frostville before COVID. COVID happened. When we came back from COVID, our numbers were very small. We were not able to bring back Frostville, so we put it on hold. The Frostville Harmonic is a very unique experience because not too often in middle school, well, the students have an experience where the winds get to learn how to speak to the strings, and the strings get to learn to speak with the winds. It's a very unique opportunity that it allows them to get to know one another from a musical perspective. The winds learn notes that normally they wouldn't see until they were in high school or in college, and sometimes the strings do the same thing when they learn how to speak the language of the winds. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, essentially the winds speak Spanish, the strings go ahead and let's say they speak Japanese, and so they learn how to speak each other's language. ¿Comprenden? Ay, muy bien. Okay, so when we turn, Ms. Curtis and I turn in our rosters for what we want as far as students in, like for next year's ensembles, I'm going to give them my list in April and May so the counselors can program who we need in the ensembles. And so at the end of the year last year, it was slated that an advanced band, and I'm glad it didn't work out, it was slated that I was going to have close to 90 students in advanced band, which, I mean, that's crazy. I wouldn't have been able to support that in the room, and then the stage wouldn't have been able to do that. So when we came back, and I looked at my rosters, a lot of things fell in place the way we needed them to, and some of the students, unfortunately, found themselves in intervention. So we want to make sure that they do really well. They have to turn in their assignments and all that stuff because the final report card is coming up next week. Anyway, I showed up on the first day of school, and it wasn't planned that they were going to be Philharmonic. But when I showed up on the first day of school, I looked at my roster and I'm like, oh, Advanced Strings has wind players and Advanced Strings has percussion musicians. And I told the kids, I'm like, so we have a couple of choices. I can, put the winds and the percussion where they're supposed to be, or we can try to bring back Philharmonic. And it was a no-brainer. They're like, yes, let's do it. So much so that I had a percussion actually who was a percussion student who was an advanced band. She's like, peace advanced band, I'm gonna go into the Philharmonic because they're just like, this is such a great experience. And so, the Philharmonic before COVID was the intermediate level group, and right now in this current existence, this is now the advanced orchestra, which we're calling Philharmonic. So it's a really unique ensemble. I'm very excited about it. And we're going to go ahead and start their portion of the program. One of my favorite string composers of all time is who alumni? Eliento Borgo, good. Who's the other one?
Zuni Newbold.
Zuni Newbold, good. Man, you guys know me very well. So we're going to play, I like her so much, we're actually doing 2 of her pieces of music tonight. The first one we're going to open with is entitled American Landscape. And it's a programmatic piece of music. It takes us on a journey to the American countryside on a train. So that's what we hope, the imagery that will evoke through our sound. So here's American Landscape. Can we get the lights, please? have 3 of my own, so I totally understand it. Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. All right, so the next piece of music we're gonna play, going back to the alumni quiz question, who was the other composer that I enjoyed? Elliot Del Borgo, yes, good. So we're gonna play a piece of music by Elliot Del Borgo entitled Slavonic Legend. Now, fun factoid about Slavonic Legend, the Philharmonic that we had during COVID, because the circumstances outside of anyone's control really, was 25 members strong. That's all we had. And it was slated that we were going to play Slavonic Legend, and I had just purchased this piece of music in 2020 with the intention of performing it at the Frost Bowl at the time, but the plug got pulled and they never got an opportunity to perform it. And so I figured, you know what? Since these guys are Philharmonic and they're doing so, aren't they doing so well? I mean, is it really what we're expecting? I hope that means no in a good way. I have to tell you, one of my personal, not pet peeves, but something I always keep in the forefront of my mind when we go to festival especially, I tell the students that it should be our goal. Middle school students are phenomenal, they really are. I enjoy teaching middle school. I love working with this age group. I'm a kid at heart, so I always feel like I click well with this particular age group. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, stop by my classroom on your way out. You'll know as soon as you walk in. Anyway, when we go to festivals, I tell the students that yes, you know, we should focus on playing our best. And yeah, it'd be nice, you know, when we get superiors. I'm not so much interested in first, second, third place. My goal is always getting a superior. For those of you who don't know, a superior is the highest possible rating, and that's awarded to groups that play at a very high quality, 90% above. That's usually the rating system. It's always nice when we get superiors, but for me, when people ask, what do you teach? Oh, I teach middle school. Ew, why? Middle school kids are crazy. Yeah, they are. They are. I mean, I'm not going to say no, and they're your kids, so you know. But for me, I always believe that middle school is an age where they try to find, they're exploring, they're finding who they are, and I feel like music gives a lot of them an identity. So I have a tendency to push the envelope when it comes to what's expected of middle school students. My goal, yes, is always to get superior at festivals, and this happened the last year we went to festival. I love when adjudicators say, your students played very well. Sometimes they say for middle school, and the idea of they played well for middle school is kind of a little bit of a negative. It's kind of like a backhanded compliment. Yeah, they did really well, but they're middle schoolers, so we don't really expect them to do well. You can play La Bodega de Maria, they'd be very happy, right? I mean, I had a little line for those of you who don't speak Spanish. But this last Music in the Bronx experience that we had, one of the adjudicators, and it was Frost Advanced Strings, which a lot of these students were a part of last year. Actually, it was Intermediate Strings, if I remember correctly. It was Intermediate Strings. Advanced Strings had a different festival last year. Intermediate Strings went, and one of the adjudicators who my previous experience with he was a very tough adjudicator. He wrote in our comments, really good orchestra, especially for middle school. In other words, exceeding the middle school expectation. And so, yes, thank you. A lot of these students were a part of that last year. I digress, but I want to say that it makes me happy that this is an orchestra that we have to restart the Philharmonic legacy, and just kind of as a tribute to those students that were affected and not able to perform during COVID, we are playing Slavonic Legend. Long story short, I hope you enjoy. my watch just prompted me, it looks like you're working out. Shall we record your workout? So again, a lot of thank yous. It's a partnership. I keep going back to it because it's true. We have with us tonight one of our coaches. We have a partnership with the American Youth Symphony. We have the opportunity to have we have a couple of different coaches here with us at Frost. We have Miss Russell, we have Coach Brad, we have Coach Nico. Some of our coaches, we have Coach Daisy, we have Coach JC. These are our coaches that are on staff. That we'll get to that PTSA partnership in a minute. But we also have a grant with the American Youth Symphony that also brings in some of our coaches that help us with the strings. I'm a trombone player. I do okay, I think, with the strings for a non-string person. But I have to say, it's the work that the coaches from AYS that they do with the kids that really make it so that the kids sound like they're being taught by a string person, which I am not, but that's okay. You wouldn't know that, right? If I didn't tell you I was a trombone player, you wouldn't know that. That's okay. But I do have with us tonight, we have Allie Mills in the violin section. She's joining us. This is Coach Allie. And I just want to show our appreciation for you and the rest of the AYS coaches who come in and help us. We do a lot of things that middle school students in this grade should not be doing, and again, it's only through the help of our fine AYS coaches that we're able to do the things that we do. We have a couple of guest musicians with us as well, and if you're joining us tonight, again, I didn't get an opportunity to write your names in the program, but I do want to acknowledge you. So if you would stand if you're joining us tonight as a guest, go ahead and stand, don't be shy. Want to also, as a percussion, are making a transition to their instruments. Percussion students play more than one, and so we got to give them an opportunity to go and change things. I want to thank our PTSA. We have a very unique partnership with our school's PTSA. If you're a member of PTSA, if you're a board member of PTSA and you're here, we just want to go ahead and thank you. A round of applause for our PTSA. They partner with us, they come alongside us. And it's through this partnership that we are where the district is not able to support us in our endeavors, in having our coaches on staff, for example, in going on field trips like Music in the Parks, California Adventure, when for years we've done it. Our partnership with the PTSA allows us to do this. They also provide the ability for us to do our fundraisers. Just like we just did Snap Race, which by the way, thank you for your very generous contributions towards that. A record-setting year this year. Thank you for that. All right, yes, please, round of applause for yourselves. And speaking of partnerships, I do want to go ahead, I can't see because the lights are blinding me, but again, I can't do this on my own. And I'm very blessed to have a strong bond and partnership. Would you give it up for Tina Curtis? Very fortunate, very blessed to have her friendship, to have a partnership, to just, hey, how was your day today? The kids were terrible. How was your day today? The kids were just bad. It was a Monday. Great, let's keep going. We just uplift each other and just keep encouraging each other to just continue to do the good work because, let's face it, that's their excuse every day. It's Monday. It's Monday, Mr. Orr. The sun's not out. I don't want to play. But anyway, I just wanted to shout her out. They had an incredible, successful Wednesday night performance with the choirs. They had an incredible, successful Thursday night performance yesterday with the percussion ensemble. And again, fortunate enough for her friendship and her partnership. We have a lot of talented students here at Frost. We have a lot of students that play in multiple ensembles. And some of her students were actually going to be performing in the jazz band and the mariachi a little bit later on. And thankful for that because a lot of my rhythm section kiddos last year graduated in jazz band. And if it weren't for her student and the talent pool that she has, we'd be in a bit of a trouble spot with drummers. And so I'm just thankful to have that partnership that just continues, words, you know how I feel. Love you. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. I think our percussion is set up here. We got everyone up? Cool. All right, good, because I was going to start telling stories. Yeah. Okay. Our next piece of music, you'll recognize it. It is an arrangement of Leroy Anderson's Sleigh Ride. So we hope you enjoy. Oh, I love that. Okay, so our next and final piece, as the percussion make the way again, we have a lot of things happening. So the way music is rated, it's graded on a number system. 0.5 being the easiest level. Usually the way I equate it is the beginners are the ones that start at 0.5 because they're just starting their journey. Then it goes up to level 1, 1.5, 2, etc., so forth and so on. I believe the max is 6, if I'm not mistaken, either 5 or 6, somewhere around there, right? Okay. Middle school is usually expected to live in the land of grade 2 music, sometimes grade 3, and high school is what's expected to be in, the 3s, the 4s, the 5s, and above. The next piece of music that we're going to play is another Sun Hee Newbold piece. It's entitled Egyptian Legacy, and one of the problems that I had this year with this particular group is the music in the Philharmonic library that I had. When I was giving it to them, they're like, Mr. R, what? This is too easy for us. It's boring. The reason being is it was intermediate level music meant for students with not as much experience. And so I found myself like, oh my gosh, this is too easy for them. Oh my gosh, this is too easy for them. This is too easy for them. So we were doing a YouTube listening session one day, and I'm like, okay, you guys are making me mad. These are your 2 choices. Pick one. We're going with it. And so we heard this piece, and they fell in love with it. And then they asked me what level it was. I was like, I don't know, guys. It's a 4.5. It's up there. Middle school kids have no business playing it. And I hope we play it in a way where you're like, yeah, you're right, middle school kids have no business playing it. I hope what we do is like, whoa, that's crazy good, and especially for middle school. So here's Egyptian Legacy. I'm gonna drink a quick sip of water and then we're gonna do it. I know the middle school kids did not just say chug, 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 chug. Mariachi, don't have too much fun over there, chill. like that? Thank you. I told them when I gave it to them, guys, it's a month. I don't know if we're gonna have enough time to do it. And then Ellie asked last week, so are we gonna do it? I'm like, yeah, definitely. You guys have earned it. So really proud of all the talent that we have here tonight. We're at the intermission portion of the concert. These students are not early released. Everyone from here out is requested. Their grade is connected to their ability to stay. At the very end of the concert, the various ensembles, we have a couple of teachers here tonight. Each teacher will be helping me out, and I thank you in advance for checking out the ensemble. And so the way it's gonna work, if I can get the house lights, I'm kind of stalling so that you guys have lights before we leave. The students will check out, listen to this one, because this one wasn't discussed. Okay, check it out. You will be checked out through the last ensemble roster that you played in. So raise your hand if Philharmonic is your last group of the night. So you will check out through the Philharmonic roster. Raise your hand if Jazz Band is your last ensemble of the night. You would check out through Jazz Band at the end of the concert. Raise your hand if Mariachi is your last ensemble of the night. Overachievers. All right. You would check out through Mariachi, and that one is going to be through me at the end of the concert. We do this for their safety. We want to make sure that they go home with whom they're supposed to, and so we just ask for you to just be patient. We're going to go ahead and switch to the intermission. So this is a part where we're going to ask for these plastic chairs to be relocated so that, actually, you're fine right now. You're fine right now, that's a lie. You're fine right now. This happens after Jazz Band. You're fine. You're totally You're good. Okay, so we're going to do an intermission in about 10-15 minutes. If we have a couple of parent helpers, alumni who want to help out, this is the time that I need you guys up there. Give us about 10-15 minutes and we'll be back with the jazz ensemble. Thank you so much.
See you later.
movie, so you know how that ended. We will not end up under the. I have a guest with me all the way on the drums. I don't know if anyone has met this guy, but this is Elias. He's making his winter concert debut tonight. This is my kid. He's one. He likes Elmo. He likes coloring. He likes making his brother and sister mad. Yeah. He's not been in a winter concert before. And actually, yeah, that's Israel. I have 3, so I totally, you picked Jasmine, of course. The last time she was here for a winter concert, she pushed me aside and started conducting the orchestra, so I was just kind of, oh boy, hi! They haven't seen me all week, but, so, hi, okay, hey!
He got the mic.
He's getting ready to sing in mariachi. That's what he's doing. He's warming up. He's warming up.
That's a kid right there.
Can that start? No, okay. Can we start? Are we good yet or no? Almost?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So this is a jazz ensemble, and we meet as a 0 period class. And what that means is that when everyone else is still at home, getting just, ready to get up and have their breakfast and stuff, these guys are here. We start rehearsing at 7 in the morning every day. So I think a special round of applause for their commitment to coming here at this early. And a special round of applause for you guys who have to drive them early. Yeah, because I know that's not easy, so I appreciate your support. So, jazz ensemble, yes, we have a lot of students this year, and I'm just thrilled. I'm excited. Last year was a rebuilding year, in the sense that, again, because of COVID, our numbers were small. We started, I believe, with maybe 1 or 2 trombones, and eventually, as the beginning students last year got, their footing, they joined, and so it makes me happy that this year we're starting with a rather large ensemble, and if it keeps going at this pace, because the majority of these students are in 7th grade. Many years ago, we had so many students in the jazz program, we actually had 2 different jazz bands going on, so if things look the way they do, maybe next year we'll be able to do that again. So, are we ready? We are ready. Okay. Let's go ahead and get the house lights off, and let's get the stage lights on. All right. So, we are going to go ahead and wait for the mariachi students to take a seat. And we're going to go ahead and kick off their portion of the program with a blues number entitled Escalator Blues. And you're going to hear on some solos. You're going to hear from Ben on the alto. You're going to hear from Isaac on the trombone. You're going to hear from Robert on the tenor. You're going to hear from Josh on the trumpet. And you're going to hear some fills from Leo on the drum set. Here is Escalator Blues. right, thank you. So, just going back a little bit, how I was saying how fortunate I am to have a friend and partner here at Frost, who is Curtis. Our next piece of music is going to feature one of her students from Frost Singers. And occasionally we've done the opportunity where we can feature a vocalist. It's been a few years since we've done that. And a little bit about our singer. Her sister was a member of the jazz ensemble last year. And so when her sister had to be dropped off, she had to be dropped off. And she was there. She was there supporting us. She'd come to our performances, our festivals, and she kind of became an honorary member of the family. And so her sister graduated. She's now in 8th grade. And so I told her at the end of last year, I said, hey, Anessa, I said, we're going to do a song and we're going to feature you next year. And so here we are. We're going to go ahead and have her sing. This is Anessa, and she's no, you're fine where you are. We're going to have her, hold on, do we have, I got to turn the lights on. Give me 1 second, I'll adjust that real quick. She's going to be singing in the wee small hours of the morning. JC, real quick, which microphone do we have as hers? I'm holding mic 2. She's number 1, okay. Go ahead and grab number 1. Do a quick check. Let me go ahead and hand this baby off real quick. Let me turn the lights real quick. Excuse me. I'm not jumping up on the stage with these parents. Okay, so here we go. In the wee small hours of the morning, you're also going to hear once again on trumpet from Josh. So here we go. was great. Another round of applause, please, for Inessa. Okay, we're going to go ahead and change things up a little bit. We're going to go ahead and play one of our holiday tunes. This is entitled Winter Wonderland. You're going to hear from Diego on the trombone, and you're also going to hear from Yvette on the drums. We good? Let me see. So this is a nice swing arrangement of Winter Wonderland. So what's going on is both of our tenor 2 and our bari sax player, they alternate. They take turns playing the bari, they take turns playing the tenor. And so somewhere along the way, Linda's tenor got bumped or something, and so it's not working out. So we're just readjusting real quick with the tenor that Mr. Mark is letting us borrow, but it's a quick little thing that she has to take care of for it to play. So as we get ready for our last piece of music, a little bit about what's going to happen in the change again. Again, sorry, the theme seems to be me repeating myself with how amazing all of our Frost students, musicians are in all ensembles. Absolutely. We, again, a lot of these kids are in many groups, and so raise your hand if you're in mariachi as well and jazz band. So they're going to have to do what's called this. I'm a big Batman fan, by the way, if you didn't know that. Okay, in case you didn't know. So they're going to do what's called a Superman change. Essentially, they have to exit the room and kind of like, you know, do the Superman as they're running over to change real quick. So they got approximately, and no more than 10 minutes to change out of this and change into your trajes, your superhero costumes, right? Because that's what it is, right? And so then we're going to come back. As you do that, we're going to clear the stage and we'll do exactly what we described. All right, so our next piece of music, our final piece of music, is a Latin tune entitled Matt's Mexican Special. And you're going to hear that the saxophones are going to do another solo for you, a saxophone section solo like they did for the Winter Wonderland. You're also going to hear from Elijah on the alto saxophone. And can you stand up just so that I can put the height? I mean, yeah, just a lot. And so you're also going to hear from Melissa on the trumpet. Alright, so here we go. That's Mexican Special. Actually, real quick, I haven't done this in a while. The lights, in case you were wondering, that's Mexican Special, just throwing it out there. I have to thank and acknowledge this as well. We have Mr. Sid Lassane, who could not be here with us tonight, but we also have Mr. Dan Taguchi in the house, right there. And for those of you who don't know, Mr. Dan Taguchi is the reason why I chose to become a music teacher. It's been a minute since I've shouted out. You like that? It's been a minute. He's the inspiration for me that I had in high school. I went to Hamilton High School. Myra's here. Shout out to the Yankees in the house. And you know what? I got an email from a mom from one of the kids in intermediate streams. You were her teacher too. Yes. I'm sorry. I told you about the teacher milestone I experienced this year, right? Where I had a mom who was on a 35. I'm 40 and I was just kind of like, oh my god, I'm older than the parents now. Just saying. Let's not compare numbers. I'm just saying. Okay. Anywho, Mr. Dan Taguchi is here. He works with the kiddos as well once a week. He's one of our jazz coaches. But he was my high school band director, and he's the reason why I decided to become a teacher. So it's his fault that we're all here tonight. Yes, sir. There's a lot of history in the Granada Hills community. Last week, I'm waiting on making sure this is good, but last week, Granada Hills had their jazz and orchestra concert. I was not able to attend, but check this connection out real quick. Mr. Simon is now the director of the jazz ensembles there. Mr. Lassane was the director at Hamilton High School. When Mr. Lassane retired, Mr. Taguchi took over. Mr. Lassane was Mr. Simon's director of jazz at Hamilton. Okay. At the concert in Granada last week, both Mr. Lassane and Mr. Taguchi attended. Okay, so follow along if you can. Just visualize this map where their pictures are, we're connecting on the dots. Okay. A good percentage of the students in the Granada Jazz Band were former students in Red Frost. So that's where I come along in this connection of things. Mr. Taguchi was my director, Mr. Lassane was Mr. Simon's director. I was the director of a lot of the students that are at Granada right now. Do you see where this is going? And we can keep going. And going and going. Mr. Taguchi left Hamilton to go to Hale Charter Academy. The director there was Frank Tremonti. How long was he there? He was there 28 years. He retired. Mr. Taguchi took over. He retired from Hale. Mr. Taguchi had a student teacher named John Cruz, who is now the director at Hale. Still with me? Okay. Mr. Tremonti's granddaughter, Juliana Renew, was a student of mine here at Frost who played trumpet, who is now also at Granada. So what we gotta tell Mr. Simon to do is for a spring concert, you need to be there, Sid needs to be there, I need to be there, Tremonti needs to be there, and it all is just gonna come full circle and connect the dots. Put up a family tree of musicians, yes, music teachers. So, all right, there we go. Sorry, how we set? Cool, I think I just confused everyone. All right, but a shout out to Mr. Taguchi again. Just thank you for coming alongside and helping me with these things, whipping them into shape. All right, so here we go, Matt's Mexican Special. change. We shall be ready to go. Oh, we just lost a breaker. Oh no, that was outside attention. We're good. We're gonna make a last scene change and then we'll be ready for Mariachi Los Lobos. Mariachi got started really, really early. I'm starting to learn that mariachi is in high demand in the month of October, more so than ever because more schools are now doing activities in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month. And so mariachi normally starts, September, October, so we can start doing our first performances in November, but we started mariachi this year on week 2. Week 2 of school. It was an audition-based ensemble, so all of the kids here successfully completed an audition and were invited to be in the group. And so, yeah, very proud. Hey, there he is! All right. So we have already had a number of performances, and mariachi is a very busy group in the month of May as well. A lot of the surrounding elementary schools do activities again for Cinco de Mayo, so these guys are going to be performing a lot this year. If you've not had an opportunity to hear these guys, I am excited for you. Mariachi is a different vibe, as the kids say. Let's not get into that conversation. But it's a different energy, and sometimes I feel like I tell them, I'm going to rename the group. Mariachi Los Lobos has been our name because of our mascot, the Timberwolf Lobos, wolf. Woo, that, okay. But sometimes I'm like, you guys, I think I'm going to name the group Mariachi Los Serios because you guys are so serious. So they feed off of your energy. And so for this portion of the performance, we're going to keep the house lights on so that you can be a part of this experience as well. If you know the songs, we invite you to sing along. Okay? If you feel moved to clap as we play, I'm going to ask you to hold off on it because you might make it slow down, okay? But if you feel inclined to let a grito out, whistle, sing along, we invite you to be a part of it. So, are we ready? Okay, so our first song is our theme song. JC, our coach, has written a theme song for Mariachi Los Lobos, and that's going to lead into La Enorme Distancia, and you're going to hear on vocals from Isaac and Linda, which is why we couldn't start, because Isaac kind of sings, so we needed to wait. JC, who was who with the mics? I got it mixed up. Isaac 1, Linda 2, okay. So, without further ado, Mariachi Los Lobos, here we go. song, I used to say our. So I'm dropping that. So just again, know it, enjoy it, sing along. We feed off of that energy. Our next song is going to be Hermoso Cariño, and you are going to hear. Thing, and I'm very excited for their family, is his sister, Shyla. So it's a nice little duet. I love it. We're gonna go ahead and turn off the house lights now. So yeah, let's go ahead and turn off the house lights. Ready?
Hermoso cariño.
Our next song, Coast 103.5, just Easter, I think, that early in the year. For me, growing up, it wasn't so much about listening to that 103.5. Listening for a particular on social. If you don't know what that means, this is. I heard of next. It's a very, very awesome. Unfortunately, we don't have the lyrics. Please, guys. Si me ven, voy camino de Belén. So let's try it together. Ready? Si me ven, voy camino de Belén. Si me ven, And just pick a note, it's fine. All right. It's Tuki Tuki season, everyone. Tuki Tuki season. All right. Our next piece of music is going to feature on vocals. You're going to hear from Jasleen. you're going to hear from Fernando. Oh, you're also going to hear from Isaac on vocals. This is Tú y las Nubes. Thank you. So, we've reached the end. You have been the best audience we've had all night. Oh, well, we are. We got one more. And, you know, I'm really proud of every performer, every performance this week. We've had a really good run for our Winter Music Festival this year. Ms. Curtis, would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Every single night, every single group, every single note, from downbeat to downbeat, all 3 nights, fantastic. Fantastic. very proud, and I just have to say that it's really awesome as a teacher of middle school students to see like the students that audition to sing, like going, through the voice changes as a male student, it really is not an easy thing, and for them to put themselves in a situation where they're in an audience this size and some of their peers are here, it takes a special type of courage, and I just want to acknowledge all of the singers, a round of applause for them. One of my favorite things is especially when the parents don't know that their children are singing, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, what? Where did that come from? Like when you sing in the shower, you sound like whatever, but that wasn't, you know what I mean? So it's really nice. I love hearing those stories and talking to the parents. So here we go. Our next song, our last piece of music is entitled, and we figured we'd leave you with this, Volver, Volver, because we want you to come back to us. We want you to come back to us for La Gran Fiesta in May. And if you have not been a part of La Gran Fiesta, we'll send hopefully emails and hopefully your kids will tell you about it. So this one is going to feature Alyssa on vocal and guitar. Come on down, ladies. Give it up again for Alyssa and guitar, please.
Este amor apasionado voy camino a la locura y aunque todo me tortura sé querer. No sé, vamos hace tiempo, pero se llegó el momento de al corazón y me muero. A tus brazos otra vez. Yo sé perder, yo sé perder.
on the street. You've been such a good audience today. Just again, a friendly reminder, when they're done, the checkout procedures will be as such. I will check out Mariachi Los Lobos, me myself, I'll take care of Mariachi Los Lobos. Miss Lewis will finish off anyone in the advance band, and Miss Drucker, can I have you do anyone in Philharmonic? Fantastic. So Miss Lewis will be posted up on this aisle. Miss Drucker will post up on the aisle right here, and I'll be here in the middle. And yes, thank you so much again. I hope you've enjoyed. Just on a personal note, I want to thank my wife and my kids and my family for being here, and also just the support, the love. Daddy's coming home before midnight tonight. We don't have to clean, which is fantastic. And I also want to shout out and thank my mariachi coaches. Would you help me thank JC and Daisy? And I also want to thank our video crew and our sound engineer, JC and Jermaine and his crew. Please. Again, it takes a village. Thank you so much for your patience. Here's our last song, El Relámpago. Happy holidays. We hope you enjoy. And here we go.